When she was 2 years old, I had a little vinyl disc. I played this in Chicago all the time when we lived there before the Michigan games. And she'd go, "Daddy, I want to hear Hail. I want to hear Hail, Daddy." So we put it on all the time, and that was her favorite song, and that's why she's a Michigan fan. I want to tell one quick story of Lauren's always been a traveler, loves to go everywhere, and I flew over at the end of her first semester in Italy when she was in Rome in the graduate program. We had a great trip all over. We spent 5 days in Rome. We went to Piraeus, Greece, Athens, took a hydrofoil boat over to Hydra. From Hydra back to Athens, Greece, and then to Amsterdam, 4 days, and then a train to Brussels, and it was just one of the greatest times I've ever had with my daughter. It was a 2-week trip, just fantastic. And another one that was a little not so much fun, she had to renew her visa, her Italian, she had to get her visa and her passport to go back. I think this was in '06. And it was delayed coming out of the Italian consulate down in Coral Gables, Florida. We kept waiting and waiting and waiting. It wasn't coming in the mail. We had to change her flight to Rome about 5 different times with Delta, and finally we had to make a decision whether to wait one more day or we better go on down there and see and get this thing organized. So we drove to Jacksonville, Florida, took a Southwest airplane to Fort Lauderdale, hotel in Miami. We got to the Claude Pepper Federal Building in Miami the day it opened, at 9 a.m. And I go up to the, we're pretty much early, some of the first people to get in there. And I go up to the front, the lady at the passport in the cage there. I said, "Ma'am, we're in a real hurry. I have to get down to the Italian consulate by noon. It's in Coral Gables." And I had a $50 bill in my hand. And I thought, I'm just going to let her see it. And she goes, "Sir, I'm a federal employee." And I said, "Well, bribes aren't accepted anymore here or what?" "Come on, I'm in a hurry." So we finally got out of there, and we had to get down to the Italian consulate in Coral Gables. And this is a true story. I was driving 70 miles an hour down Biscayne Boulevard, running red lights, drove on the median, passed people, and finally got to the Italian consulate. Lauren ran up there, and then we find out that they're on lunch break in Rome. So we had to wait that out a little longer. Finally, we get her visa and her passport, and now I have to go down Lejeune Road. Tom Heisel knows about that road, to the Miami airport, and I have like half an hour to get this done. Passing people again, going 70 miles an hour on Lejeune Road, and we get up to the Delta area, and there's a SkyCap guy there. I pulled my 50 out that I couldn't give to the federal agent, and I gave it to the SkyCap, and he took it in about 2 seconds. And I said, "This girl has got to get a plane from Miami to Atlanta to Rome, and I want you to make sure she's on it and her luggage shows up." He goes, all right, you got it. So I gave him the 50, and he takes off with Lauren, and she takes off and finally gets to Atlanta. She got to Rome, and her luggage didn't make it, but she did. And she ran down the causeway. I stood there I sat in my car for 20 minutes. I was so frazzled I couldn't even move. But we got it done, and that was quite a trip going down Biscayne Boulevard. I'll never forget that. But I just want to say something. Leslie's mother, Leslie, and I are so proud of Lauren and what she's accomplished. Graduate school over in Italy. She lived there for 4 years on her own. Some of her friends are here who are with her on that. She accomplished all that. She's got her graduate degree. She's got a great job with the World Bank, and we're just so proud of everything she's done. And we're so excited to have Bill and his family. The merger of these two families, I think, is just tremendous. I know Dave and Donna, and I know Bill well. And I remember when Lauren was first going out with Bill, she said, "Dad," she said, "you're going to like this. He went to Ohio University." And I said, "Well, that's great, man. I went to Ohio University." And I said, "Wait a minute. I went to Ohio University. I don't know if this is good or bad." But it looks like it's great, and we're so happy to have Lauren and Bill together. We wish them all the success, and this is just a fantastic get-together here. I have never seen such camaraderie and everybody getting along with everybody. It's just fantastic, and we're great to be here, and so happy. It's a great evening, and let's have a toast to the new wedded couple here. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Summer, and for those of you that don't know, I am Lauren's best friend from way, way back. 19 years, I believe, is the accurate number. It all started in the 6th grade. And let me just say, I was not Lauren's biggest fan. I was brand new at Beaufort Academy, and something about Lauren just really put me off. Lauren knows how I felt about that. I just remember each and every one of your little crew walked around with fancy little lunch boxes, and for some reason my 6th grade self had a little issue with that. But thankfully things changed, and I eventually warmed up to Lauren. I think it was a field trip at Camp Greenville where the bond began, and ever since we had a wonderful friendship. Growing up, Lauren and I always made sure we lived our lives to the fullest. And the two of us definitely had our share of fun. I'm sure our parents and everyone that know us could attest for that. We had some good times out here on Fripp with our Frippy friends. And then we also had our good times when we were roommates in Charleston. I think one major thing that stands out in our friendship is our love for traveling. Lauren got me to go to places even after I insisted. Lauren, I don't have the money, and Lauren got me to go anyways. And we figured out the money part. I am so thankful for Lauren and her nagginess. Or should I say persistence? So we've gone to 10 states and 5 countries together. Without my good friend Lauren, I don't know if I would be who I am today. Lauren, you are the kindest, goofiest, and most level-headed, dependable friend a girl could have. Even though we live 1,000 miles apart, she finds a way to be there for me all the time. In fact, she was just down in Florida to help me plan and celebrate a very memorable surprise 30th birthday and engagement for me. You've been there for me ever since I met you, and even though I have lived far away, we have both lived far away from each other for about 8 years. We talk on the phone and text regularly, and we are still the best of friends, and we always have plans for the next time we see each other. So Lauren and I have had our ups and downs when it comes to dating. Well, we did before we met the right people. It's definitely not easy to find the one. I remember when she first started dating Bill, and I knew that this is definitely different. By the tone of her voice and the way she talked about him, she was giddy and excited and concerned about always saying and doing the right things. Well, I guess she said and did the right things because here we are. Soon enough, I got to spend time with them together, and one of the times was in Siesta Key, where we all had quite the silly time drinking and boating and drinking. And then I'll never forget one of our romantic Valentine's Day together, just the 3 of us in Orlando. I'm not sure which one of us was the third wheel. And that's when I fell in love too. Lauren, you've done well, and Bill, you've done even better. I'm so happy for the both of you, and I wish you all the happiness in the world, and the travels, and the love. And Lauren, you're such a good friend, so I just want the best for you. So congratulations, and let's toast Lauren and Bill.
I thought I was the only one nervous tonight, but then I saw Billy and Lauren's first dance, and Billy's a little nervous too. So I'm Billy's older brother, Dave, and before I begin, I just wanted to take a minute to thank Lauren's parents, Leslie and Larry, and my parents, Dave and Donna. I know you put a lot of time and effort in planning this weekend. And none of this would have been possible, with all the help you gave Billy and Lauren, and of course, if not for your checkbooks, none of this would have been possible. So thank you all. Everything turned out beautifully. So growing up, Billy didn't aspire to be the man he is today. He didn't aspire to be a federal law enforcement agent living out here in D.C. I think my dad touched on it a little bit yesterday at the rehearsal dinner, where he said growing up, Billy was a computer guy. He loved electronics. He was very much a techie guy. He worked at Best Buy. I think Billy was on their geek squad. A lot of us would have called Billy a computer nerd. I think by the time we got to high school, that changed a little bit. And my mom actually referred to Billy as the criminal. And I thought about sharing some stories about how he earned his nickname, but given his line of work, I don't know if Billy would appreciate that. But what I can say is it might have had something to do with him and his friends hiding their alcohol in the ceiling of my parents' basement when they were younger.
That was you.
It wasn't me, that was Billy. But regardless, if you've known Billy your whole life or if you met him over the past couple of years, you're probably just as shocked as I am to see him up here today for two reasons. One, he's wearing a suit and he's not wearing one of the two t-shirts that he seemed to wear every other day. I think his OU t-shirt and his Rockstar t-shirt. And two, he's sitting next to his beautiful new wife, Lauren. So the first, when I heard Billy had a girlfriend, I didn't quite believe it. It was probably a year into their relationship that I'd even met Lauren. So I figured it was something that he said to kind of get my mom and my sister to leave him alone about finding a girlfriend and getting married and having kids. So the first time I met Lauren, funny story, her and Billy flew out to Reno, Nevada to come and visit me for the weekend. And on the way home from the airport, we'd stopped at the grocery store just to get some food and some drinks. And while we were there, the only thing that Lauren picked out, the only thing that Lauren wanted for the weekend, it wasn't a bottle of wine, it was a box of Velveeta macaroni and cheese. And later on that night, we're sitting around my kitchen table, getting ready to go out. We were all drinking, and Lauren, she gets up, she went over to the stove, and she made her box of macaroni and cheese. And by the time she finished cooking it, she was so excited to eat that she didn't offer anybody who was there any macaroni and cheese. She didn't ask me for a bowl. She didn't even ask me for a spoon. Lauren came back to the table with the entire pot of macaroni and cheese and the wooden spoon that she stirred it with, and she just started inhaling this food into her mouth. So Lauren had gotten up for probably no more than a minute, and by the time she'd gotten back to the table, Billy, the criminal over here, had taken that pot and eaten every piece of food in it. And when Lauren got back, this is the first time I met her, and she was upset. I don't think she knew if she was going to cry or if she was going to hit him in the face. But I really thought that was the last time I would have ever seen these two together. She was upset. So, thinking about my speech, I kind of wondered, what is it that has kept Billy and Lauren together for so long? And there's a saying that I think a way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. And with Lauren, I think that's very true, because ever since Billy and Lauren started dating, Billy has learned how to cook. So Billy, I say to you, I wish I could stand up here and give you advice on marriage or relationships, but obviously, we both know I don't have experience in either of those areas. But what I can say is that throughout your entire life, whether you've been tasked, whether you've been challenged in computers, whether it's been figuring out how to hide beer from mom and dad, or even professionally, today you're very successful working in a career that growing up you really didn't have an interest in or didn't have any way to prepare for. You're very successful, and with you, wherever there's been a will, you found a way, and I see that being no different with your relationship. So I wish you and Lauren the very best. I know you're going to have a very happy and long future together. And to Lauren, I think I could speak on behalf of my entire family when I say we've been waiting a long time for Billy to finally propose to his roommate. And, we're all very excited to welcome you into the family. You're smart, you're beautiful, you're thoughtful, you're athletic, even if you only go to the gym for the bottles of wine and the free cheese. But you're everything Billy could ask for and more. And, more importantly, I've never seen Billy as happy or as full of life as he is when he is with you. So on that note, I would just like to propose a toast to Billy and Lauren. Congratulations.